safe to say right now is pretty important for the Windsor Wolves. After picking up guys like Pierre-Luc Dubois and Travis Konechny before the trade deadline, the Windsor Wolves look to have a strong first season in the NHL. And the Wolves made the playoffs, and they're taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round in the new and improved Battle of Ontario. We are back inside NHL 23's franchise mode, and we're taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. Toronto, of course, has not gotten past the first round since 2004. So let's hope they don't do it today. Taking a look at the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup, of course, they have that scary first line of Nylander, Matthews, and Marner. But the only acquisition they made this season was picking up Barabanov from the Sharks. So let's hop into game number 1 of the first round, and let's see if the Wolves have what it takes to move on to the second round of the playoffs. But before we hop into the playoffs, the question of the day is, when is the last time your favorite team made the playoffs, and how far did they go? Let me know down below in the comments. So here we are in game number 1. We're going to simulate period by period and see who scored for both teams. After the first period, the Leafs are up 2-0 with goals from Michael Bunting and Mark Giordano. After the second period, Wayne Simmons adds one for the Leafs, but Cam Atkinson scores the first goal for the Wolves. Let's see if they can come back, and it looks like it's a win for the Leafs as they win 4-2 over the Wolves in game number 1. Hopping into game number 2 on home ice, let's see if the Wolves have what it takes to tie up the series. A huge first period for the Wolves as they're up 4-1 with goals from Kotkaniemi, McLeod, Pacioretty, and Dubois. 3 more goals from the Wolves puts them up 7-1 after the second period. Dubois, Atkinson, and Joseph with the tallies. And Montreal gets 2 back in the third period, but it does not matter as the Wolves tie up the series and win 7-3 in game 2.
Bruh, did I just say Montreal?
Stupid. Game number 3 on the road in Toronto. Let's see if the Wolves can take a series lead. And the Leafs jump out early to a 3-1 lead as Matthew Joseph is the only goal scorer for the Wolves. The Wolves are now only down 1 goal, looking to make a comeback in the third period as we get goals from Marchment and Pierre-Luc Dubois. Can the Wolves make a comeback? No, they cannot, as TJ Brodie puts an empty netter in and Toronto goes up 2-1 in the series. Game number 4, and the Wolves look to tie up the series as they're down 2-1 to the Leafs. After the first, it's a tie game as Pacioretty and Barabanov have goals for each team. After the second, the Wolves take the lead as Pacioretty and Coleman score. Can the Wolves close out game number 4? No, they cannot, as the Leafs score 2 unanswered and take a 3-1 series lead.
Are you serious right now, bro?
It is now do or die for the Windsor Wolves as they're down 3-1 in this series, but they're at home. Let's see if they can bounce back and find some life. After the first period, 1-0 for the Wolves, and Travis Konechny, the newly acquired player, puts the Wolves ahead. After 40 minutes, it's a 2-1 hockey game as Pacioretty puts the lead up for the Wolves. Can the Wolves stay ahead and close out this game? No, they cannot. The Wolves let in 4 goals in the third period, and just like that, the Toronto Maple Leafs have moved on to the second round. Toronto, of course, has not gotten past the first round since 2004, so let's hope they don't do it today. Well, at least we lost to the Stanley Cup champions. Well, safe to say that was a pretty disappointing playoffs for the Windsor Wolves, but let's head to the offseason and see if we can retool and make this team even better. And of course, this is the all-important 23 NHL Entry Draft, which means Arizona Coyotes are getting Connor Bedard. Our first round pick is 22nd overall, so let's see who we're taking. With the 27th overall draft pick, we're going to be taking Quentin Musty. And Quentin Musty's a 60 overall with medium top 6 potential, but he's only 17, so he's got a lot of time to grow. Our next pick is in the second round, 55th overall, and I know who I'm taking. We're going to be taking Andre Bobrovsky, a guaranteed medium elite goaltender. And there it is, Bobrovsky, 54 overall, medium elite, and he's 6'4". We're now trying to make a trade with the Anaheim Ducks and get their third round pick in exchange for our 5th and 6th. I have a player in mind that I want to go after, so let's see if we can make the trade, and trade is accepted. And with that pick, we're going to be picking up Landon Karkner, who's a guaranteed low elite defensive defenseman with an X factor. And there is Landon Karkner, 54 overall, low elite. He's 18 years old, so he's got some time to grow, but I got baited. He doesn't have an X factor.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And with our last pick, 220th overall, we're going to be taking Carson Repkoff, who has a 25% chance of being medium elite and some X factors. Is he going to be medium elite? No, he's not. He's low top 9, but that's fine. It's the 7th round, and that's going to be it for the draft. We are now at the re-sign phase, and we have some tough decisions to make as a lot of our players are actually restricted or unrestricted free agents, and they got a lot of growth, so it's going to be hard to keep them, but let's go check them out. So first things first, we have $20 million in salary cap. We need to keep that in mind. The first player we're looking at is Georgiev, who's 85 overall, does not want an extension, and he wants $5.4 million. Now looking at our goalie depth chart, we have Stolarz, who's 82, Caden Primo's up to an 80, and Michael DiPietro's a 78. Caden Primo wants pretty low money, so I'm going to offer him $1 million for 3 years, and DiPietro wants about the same, so I'm going to give him 0.95 for 2 years. Now Georgiev is 85 overall, but since he doesn't want an extension, we're going to have to overpay to bring him back. I'm going to make a bold move. I'm going to let him walk.
Whoa.
So Vinny Hinostroza didn't crack our lineup, but he is wanting minimum money, so we're going to give him the 2-year deal and extend him. Now Matthew Joseph jumped up to an 83, but he wants an extension, which is huge. So he only wants $3.5 million for 3 years. I think we're going to give him about 3.4, and we'll see if he accepts that as well. Now we have Mason Marchment, who's a little bit of a tough one. He's 83 overall, does not want an extension. Last year, he only had 37 points in 82 games, and he wants $3.35 million, and since he doesn't want an extension, that's going to be closer to 4. I'm going to let Mason Marchment walk, and we'll see what's in free agency. We're also going to sign Matty Savoie to his entry-level deal. Now, he's only 75, but he could grow in the offseason. If he doesn't, we'll play him back in juniors. All right, Vinny Hinostroza accepts our offer for $0.975 for 2 years. Matthew Joseph accepts our offer as well. Capobianco accepts it. He'll be playing in the minors. Michael DiPietro does not accept our offer, which is interesting. Caden Primo does, however, and Matthew Savoie signs his entry-level deal. So Michael DiPietro said that he doesn't want a two-way deal, even though it does say right here he wants a two-way deal. So we're just going to qualify him, and then we'll see what happens from that. And right before free agency started, Michael DiPietro did accept his qualifying offer for $0.89 million for 1 year. All right, it is now time for free agency, and we have a couple holes to fill, especially our starting goalie. Let's go see what's available. All right, I think it paid off to let Georgiev walk, as he wants $5.5 million in free agency at 85 overall.
Hello, I like money.
But Jack Campbell here, $4.5 million at 86. So let's give Jack Campbell an offer. We're going to be offering Jack Campbell $4.85 million for 4 years. Remember, we saved that money by not signing Georgiev to a $5 million contract, so we can overpay a little bit on Campbell. The only other player I'm looking at in free agency is Andrew Kopp, as I want to give our team a little bit more center depth. He only wants $4.4 million for 2 years at 84 overall. So we're going to offer him $4.75 for 2 years. We'll see if he accepts. And as you guys can see there, Andrew Kopp accepts the offer to come play for the Windsor Wolves.
Yeah, boy.
And Windsor has its new goalie, as Jack Campbell signed to the Windsor Wolves for 4 years.
Do you like your new
Goalie?
And now that free agency is done, let's take a look at the new and improved lines for the Windsor Wolves. All right, I have to admit, this team's looking pretty sick.
Somebody come and look at this.
First line remains the same, but there is a little bit of growth. Pacioretty now an 88 overall, Kakaniemi an 84 overall, and Konechny stays at 84 overall for a +1 on the top line. Second line is now 84 overall Matthew Joseph, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and Cam Atkinson. Third line is Alexander Texier, Andrew Kopp, and Blake Coleman. And on the fourth line, making his debut, Matthew Savoie, centering Marcus Foligno and Vitaly Kravtsov for a +1. On defense, everything remains the same except for Thomas Harley slots into the third defense spot. And of course, between the pipes, we have Jack Campbell and Anthony Stolarz. And one more thing before we end the episode, Max Pacioretty, more like Captain Ready. Okay, that was a little cringy. With an unfortunate loss in the first round, the Windsor Wolves, however, had a pretty good offseason and picked up more depth and a new starting goalie. But will it help them in year number 2? Find out next episode. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you enjoy NHL 23 content, make sure to subscribe as well. If you have any suggestions or trade proposals for the Windsor Wolves, leave them down below in the comments. My name is Zoo. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
Did I just say Montreal?